What is up, everyone? Happy Monday. How was everyone's weekend? I hope everyone had a good weekend. As always, I hope you took care of yourself. I hope you got some downtime this weekend. I hope you got some active time in. I hope you just took care of yourself, right? What the heck is the point of a life not taken care of? Kayla, what's up? Boom. What's up, Kayla? Comment below and tell me how your weekend was, girlfriend. I'm excited. I'm excited to have you on live here. We're going to be talking about, and somebody else is on live. Very exciting. Kayla and mystery person on live. Comment below. Let me know how your weekend was. Let's see. What did I do this weekend? On Friday, Ash is on. What's up, girl? Okay, on Friday, I hung out with my boyfriend because we're going to be away from each other for 2 weeks, and that's a lot for us because we live together. So on Friday, I hung out with my boyfriend. We hung out. We moved the TV into our bedroom and watched a movie. I did XYZ this weekend. And on Saturday, I worked during the day, and then we hung out Saturday night. And on Sunday, he was gone. I had a good, productive day yesterday. Got outside a lot. So today we're going to be talking about the warm-up. Why do we need to warm up before we work out? What's the point of it? Why do we need it? How should we warm up? What's the order? What should we include? Boom, 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 X, Y, Z. Those three things. Why do we need to warm up? What's the order? What do we need to include? Okay, so first and foremost, I'm going to start with why we need to warm up before we do our exercise. And I'm talking about working out, like in the gym or at home. I'm not talking about like going outside for a walk. Like, yeah, warm up your body a little bit for a walk, but if you're doing like yoga, there's typically a warm up included with that, or Pilates, there's typically a warm up included. I'm talking like if you're going to the gym for like weight training or circuit training, HIIT style training, both cardio intervals, heavy lifting, whatever it is, like you need to warm up for that stuff. You need to prep your body for that. And the three biggest points of why you need to warm up and not just like go right into a warm up is to just prep your body for the demand of the workout. So prepping your body for the demand of the workout, aka like your body as it is right now, my body's not ready to go and deadlift. Let's just say my body's not ready to go and deadlift 140 pounds and run at 8 miles per hour, like in intervals on the treadmill. Like my body is just not prepped for that. So I need to prep my body for the demand I'm going to ask for it, to get it ready to supply the demand that I'm going to ask for it. Other very, very, very important reasons is just general up regulation of your body's systems. Like your body, my body right now is at a resting state. I mean, obviously I'm standing and I'm talking and I'm waving around, so my heart rate's probably a little bit higher, but like my body is at a resting state right now. My body is chilled, my body is relaxed, but you need to up regulate again in order to prep your body for the demand of the workout. So what do I mean by up regulation? I mean increasing your internal body temperature, like raising the temperature for your body, getting your heart rate up, getting your respiratory rate up, getting blood flow up, getting your muscular coordination up, and getting just your mobility and your stability up. Like increasing all of those things, up regulating your body's systems, your body temperature, your cardiovascular system, your respiratory system, blood flow, so circulatory system, your coordination, mobility, stability, just up regulating all of these systems to again prep for the body, prep the body for the demand of the workout. And then mental stimulation is also a big, 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 big one. So mental stimulation, so just like increasing your reaction speed. Like if you're working out, like you need to be on it. You need to be ready. You need to be aware, awake, like tuned in, zoned in, like mentally, like from a focus standpoint. Like if you're deadlifting, going back to that example, if you're deadlifting 140 plus pounds, like you need to be focused. You need to be able to recruit your muscles properly. You need to be able to I'm just keep playing with my hair. You need to be able to recruit your muscles properly for that deadlift so that you don't hurt something, so that nothing else kicks in, so that there's no super compensations, things like that. And just like mindset, like being in the zone and being focused and being ready to work hard. If you are just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna deadlift now, like you're not going to be hitting PRs, right? So mental stimulation and just reaction speed, like if you're doing like power stuff, speed, agility, quickness, if you're doing any like, I mean, just standing in front of the dumbbell rack, like if someone's going to drop a weight, you need to be able to like rapidly react away from it. So which leads me also into just like injury prevention as a main method or a main reason why we need to warm up. Gradually increasing stress to the body. So meaning like you're not going to go from sitting on your ass at your desk all day to going to the gym to hitting PRs in your squats, right? Like you need to gradually increase the stress to your body. So squatting with 10 pounds, squatting with 20 pounds, squatting with 30, then getting under the rack, adding 10s, adding 20s, just like gradually increasing the stress to your body so that again, it's prepped for the demand of the workout. In terms of upregulation, just transitioning from that resting state. And then the last two things I want to point out for just like why we need to warm up in general before we dive into a warm up is improving and warming up, just like lubricating the joints, improving the elasticity of your joints, and improving the range of motion of your joints and just like your main movements, right? Like if you're going to be doing overhead presses and your shoulders are tight AF and you just spent all day hunched over at your desk, like you can't expect to overhead press heavy weights without compensating, leaning back, putting pressure on your lower back, putting pressure elsewhere in areas where it doesn't need. So if you have tight shoulders, you need to work that range of motion so you can press that weight over your head without leaning back, right? Without leaning forward, activating your core properly. So why we need to warm up, recap, prep your body for the demand of the workout that you're going to ask it. Improve range of motion in the joints. That way you can access certain lifts without getting hurt. Improve the elasticity of your joints. So, right, being able to go to the ground for a deadlift and pull up and just access that range of motion and come back to that, your resting range of motion and expand and contract, right? Transitioning from that resting state, gradually increasing stress to the body, upregulation of all of your body's systems. So upregulation of your body temperature, your heart rate, your respiratory rate, your blood flow, your, coordination, mobility, stability, etc. Mental stimulation, getting focused, getting in the zone, just being ready to rock and roll, right? So it should not be a question of, do I need to warm up? Yes, you need to motherfucking warm up, right? You can't just go, I cannot just go from sitting all day at work, staring at my computer to go to the gym and expect to hit PRs and heavy lifts, or expect to run as fast as I can, or expect to perform as best as I can, expect to be focused if I'm not warming up and giving my body that chance to prep for the demand of the workout, okay? So that's number one. All of that is just why we need to warm up before we work out. So number two, I'm just going to talk about the order. And in this, I'm going to talk about, what's the term? Something anatomy. No, it's not something anatomy. I'll think of it. Oh, what's the fucking term? It's, I can't think of the term. I'll have to figure it out. I don't know why this is like not coming to my brain, but what I'm trying to, oh my God, it just came to me and then went away. What I'm trying to say is, so the order in which you need to warm up your body is the order in which a child learns how to move. Because a child isn't born and they're fucking jumping around right away. No, they're not even standing. You need to get comfortable. And it goes kind of back to like that gradual increase from that resting state to prep your body. You need to slowly get your body comfortable and activated from the most simple, secure, safe stance that your body can be in, your most stable state, just laying your ass on your back, okay? So start your warm-up on your back. Start with some breathing exercises. Start with some glute bridges, some leg lowers. If you want to do band leg lowers, knee hugs, supine twists, thoracic twists, right? Warming up your back, but just starting on your back just like a baby would, right? Transitional anatomy, I don't fucking know what the term is I'm trying to think of. If anybody knows, comment below. I know I have some people that might know that in here. So starting your warm-up on your back. Let your body start to wake up and start that mental stimulation from the ground on your back, right? So a baby starts on their back and then a baby learns how to roll over. It learns how to go on its stomach, right? Baby can go on its back and its belly when it's first growing up. So next you're going to roll over onto your belly. Again, breath work, maybe some like Supermans, maybe some Y's and T's at the shoulders, onto your belly, some crocodile breathing. Just some breathing exercises. Why is my fitness vocab is all over the place today? So just do some breathing, warm up the shoulders a little bit, maybe give yourself some just like shoulder mobility as well. And then a baby can come up once it's on its front side, a baby can come up onto both knees. Yeah. And then a baby can come up onto one knee, right? So coming up to full kneeling, I skipped a phase. So a baby's on its stomach, right? Then a baby comes up onto all hands and knees. So now you're in quadruped. So from here, you might want to do some bird dogs. So like some like single arm reaches. You might want to do some cat cows. You might want to do some, whatever you need to do, and then you're going to come up to full kneeling. So now you're almost there. You're on two knees. From here, maybe you want to work some shoulder rolls. Maybe you want to just do some side bends. From there, baby can come up to half kneeling. Now maybe you're switching back and forth. You're warming up your hamstrings, your hip flexors. You're warming up. Hips are typically in half kneeling. And then a baby now has gone from its back. It is rolled over. The baby can come up onto its hands and knees. It can come up onto both knees. And then it can come up onto one knee. And then boom, a baby's motherfucking standing. Start your warm up on your ground. Work through that progression. And then come up onto your feet. Statically, what else do you need to do on your feet, right? So statically, maybe you're just standing in place. Maybe you're doing some band pull aparts, some band pull downs, some like shoulder dislocates with the band. Maybe you're doing some like ankle rolls, some wrist rolls, whatever you need to do, whatever you're working on. And I'm going to kind of get into what to include in a second. And then the baby can move. The baby's standing, right? It's holding onto its couch, and then a baby can move, right? So now you can move. Now you've prepped your joints a little bit, right? So now you can go into the dynamic portion, which is the moving portion of your warm-up, which might include cardio, which might include walkthroughs, which might include, just some transitional things like some lunges to an overhead reach, some lunges to a thoracic twist, just more dynamic movements, okay? So now we've covered 1, what if do you need to warm up? 2, what's the kind of general transition from it, right? And again, all of this is also kind of time dependent. If you have 2 minutes to warm up, like maybe just start quadruped, half kneeling, dynamic, or maybe just start static, start dynamic, but if you have time, like do the whole damn thing. Like breathing is so important. Like training your body and teaching your body to breathe properly, underrated, okay? So now we're going to talk about just like what to include in the warm-up. Jackie, I get that I need to upregulate my systems, but like, what the fuck do I do, right? So tissue prep. What does tissue prep mean? Skeletal muscle tissue prep. Your muscle system, right? All of the webbings of all of your muscles, prepping those, again, to improve range of motion and again, to improve elasticity. So what does that look like? Foam rolling. Who here foam rolls? Comment I foam roll below if you foam roll. If you've never foam rolled before, comment what the fuck is foam rolling, Jackie? Teach me, and I can maybe do a video on foam rolling. So tissue prep through foam rolling, or maybe using a med ball, or whatever you need to for tissue prep. Just prepping. Self-myofascial release is basically just like prepping and releasing any tensions or adhesions to increase range of motion and elasticity. It's basically what tissue prep is. Activation, so recruiting your muscle fibers to actually work for you, right? Like you would not be able to deadlift. Going back to example A, you would not be able to deadlift 140 pounds if you weren't activating your ass. You would just flop forward, right? So activating your ass, letting those, as I'm like squeezing my bum right now, activating your glute muscles, activating your core muscles for that deadlift, activating your lats to get your shoulders back and down and out of your neck, right? Like you have to activate those things so that your deadlift isn't coming from your chest and your lower back, right? Activating the muscles, and a lot of this, like, you can activate everything or you can just activate what you're going to be using. So for example, if you're doing all of a lower body day, is it absolutely essential that you activate your chest muscles? Not super. If you're doing all lower body, you're doing like a lower body pull day, meaning you're doing an ass day, you really, really, really want to activate like your inner thighs, your outer thighs, your side bum, your upper bum, your lower bum, your booty bum, the whole bum, your hamstrings. You really want to activate those. So what might that look like? Just some bridges. Throw some, set of 15 double leg bridges on your back, a set of 10 on one side, a set of 10 on one side. Grab a 10-pound plate, put it on your pelvis, 10 more double leg glute bridges, 10 more single, put that, grab a 25, 10 double, 10 single, 10 single. So you've just done body weight, 10 pounds, 25 pounds. Do you think you're going to move slowly now into progressing up to your 140-pound deadlift? Or do you think you're going to go to your deadlift without doing that and throw out your back because you haven't activated your ass? Yeah. So activate the muscles that you're going to be using. So and again, gradually, so that you can recruit those muscles to prevent injury and to actually be able to lift in the right way and to be able to lift more, efficiently, to lift faster, to lift better, and just lift more powerfully. Activate those, right? Mobility, this can be a couple different ways. This can be movement specific. Again, so going back, I don't know why I'm so hung up on deadlifts today, but going back to deadlifts, you need to make sure your hips are warmed up, and you need to make sure your lumbar back, your thoracic spine, your shoulders, like you need to make sure, I mean, most definitely like your hips, but like your mobility exercises can be movement specific. Again, like I was talking about with the overhead press earlier, your mobility exercises can be movement specific, but they can also be like specific to you, right? So for me right now, I have really tight and limited internal rotation because of an injury at my hips. So meaning internal rotation, I don't know if you guys can see me. Internal rotation meaning like internal rotation to the inside. So I always try to, if I have the time to, activate and work through my mobility exercises for my internal rotation. I almost always do lumbar mobility because I have a back injury. I almost always do shoulder mobility because, especially like my right side is tremendously more tight than my left side, especially because of an injury I had here. My right collarbone is actually shorter than my left collarbone, so you can imagine that I have less mobility in my right side. So again, your mobility exercises can be movement specific to what you're doing in your workout, or it can be kind of specific to you and any kind of limitations or mobility issues that you know that you have. Okay, so you've got your tissue prep, you've got your activation, you've got your mobility exercises, and then movement specific prep, right? So this one I already kind of explained, but like movement specific prep, this might mean then you go over to the rack, right? You do maybe you do a 20-pound kettlebell deadlift. Now maybe you grab a 40-pound and do a 40-pound kettlebell deadlift, and then you go and set up the barbell. So now you've got your barbell and you've got a 10 and a 10. You do some reps there. You add on a 10, maybe you add on 15 and 15, whatever that looks like. And so you're just movement specific. So again, if you're going to be doing a ton of lunges, like you're doing some body weight lunges and then light weights and like upper body, like you're not just going to chest press 400 pounds. 400. I don't know why I said 400. You're not just going to walk up and chest press 100 pounds, right? You have to work up to that so that you can actually be able to do that and just, again, activate and recruit those muscle fibers to be able to lift for you. So the last three I'm going to explain here for what to include. And again, well, I'll say that after. So rapid reaction basically just means like quick feet patterning, quick upper body patterning, ladder drills, just like quick patterning drills to kind of wake the body up. This is optional, and I would say this really depends on your style of workout and what it is that you're working on with your workouts right now. Like if you're doing workouts that are for power, reaction speed, quickness, agility, like 100% you need to be doing rapid reaction. But if you're going to go walk on the treadmill for 20 minutes and then do like a quick upper body lift, like you don't really need rapid reaction. I mean, you can. It'll still stimulate you mentally and physically more. But rapid reaction really kind of depends on just like what your style of training is. Cardio, optional, but cardio will also help with upregulation of that system. So anywhere between like, I would say 2 and 10 minutes as a warm-up. would be totally appropriate here. I tell my clients like 5-10 minutes, but if you're really in a rush, like 2 minutes, just go jog for 2 minutes to continue to upregulate your systems, right? And this doesn't have to be like sprinting. This can be walking an incline, jogging, light jog, a run if you're more advanced. Maybe this might mean hopping on the elliptical. Maybe this means jump roping. Maybe this means Stairmaster. Just a couple minutes to continue to upregulate all of your body's systems, right? And then, lastly, I just wanted to kind of explain the difference between dynamic and static stretching. Static stretching is where you bend over and you're doing a toe touch to stretch out your hamstrings and your back, and you stay down there for like 20 seconds. That's static stretching. Static stretching is meant to elongate the muscle fibers, right, and stretch them out and lengthen them. And again, depending on what you're doing, if you are more of an advanced athlete or a performer or trainer, I would not really recommend static training before your workout, static stretching after your workout to lengthen and to lengthen and just for injury prevention. If you are someone that is more advanced in the gym, you want to be working through dynamic warm-ups 100% just to continue to assist. It's not to say never do static stretching, but if you really need to stretch your hamstrings out, like lengthen them, hold for a couple seconds, and retract. Lengthen them, hold for a couple seconds, and retract. So you just really want to be continuing to upregulate the systems, but not completely lengthen them because your muscles perform optimally at neutral length, right? That's a lot. I'm giving you guys a lot today. This is a dense Monday training. Usually they're like, da-da-da-da-da, how to find motivation. Today I'm like, drilling it in on you guys. So I don't think anybody's on anymore. I think I scared you all away, but if you've made it this far, comment, I'm warm. Comment, I am warm. I'm warm if you're still on, so I know you've made it this far. I am warm. Look, I'm going to do it because we're talking about the warm-up. I am warm. I only have like 1 or 2 more things to say. Okay, gorgeous. So, dynamic stretching, dynamic walkthroughs. So, high knees, knee pulls, walking on your toes, bear crawls, inchworms, forward walking lunges, forward lateral lunges, etc. Right? Okay. So what the fuck to include in your warm-up? And this is also pretty... if you're pressed, this is what I was going to say earlier, if you're pressed for time, if you only have 5 minutes to warm up, activation needs to happen, movement-specific prep needs to happen, and dynamic stretching needs to happen. Dynamic warm-up needs to happen for sure, first and foremost. So again, I'm going to say that one more time. If you are pressed for time, you only have like 2 to 5 minutes to warm up, which I know we're all freaking busy ass women and we have a million, 10,000 trillion things going on. Activation. Activate the muscles you are going to be using in your warm up. Movement specific prep. What are you doing for the warm up? Prep those, build up gradually, and dynamic stretching. Yeah? Okay? But what to include other than that? Tissue prep if you have the time, mobility work if you have the time and you need to, like if you're in PT for something, rapid reaction depending on your warm up, cardio as optional. Why would I do that? I can't even do that. Yes, static stretching if you are at a lower level of fitness training. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful. If this video was helpful, I need a comment below of your number one takeaway from this training, your number one takeaway from this training. So comment below. My number one takeaway from this training is that I can't make a 4 with putting my pinky down. I have to put my thumb down. That was my biggest takeaway. Okay, so in this training we covered why we need to warm up, the biggest things of why we need to warm up. Number 2, the order that you can think about of starting to activate and get your body to get rocking and fucking rolling. And then lastly, just like what to freaking include. So I hope this was helpful. Please, 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 please comment below what was most helpful from this. And then one quick announcement before I go eat lunch is Wednesday is going to be the cutoff day to join our Team Live Free book club. Again, we are reading Atomic Habits by James Clear. And if you want more information on that, shoot me a message or comment book club below, and I will connect with you to give you the details on it. But I am no longer letting people in after Wednesday because we're going to get started this weekend, and I want to make sure you have time to get the book. So if you are interested in our Team Live Free book club, comment book club below. And everybody have a great